Got another great band ready to not only perform tonight, but during the weekend down at Crown Center. And the young folk down the hallway in Studio A with Jon Hart right here live on the bridge.
You know, I can say this because I'm Irish, but Kansas City is a town that's pretty much infested with Irish people of Irish descent, and this is the biggest Irish weekend of the year, and so we could not be more excited to have the young folk in our studios today. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Really appreciate it. It's I think that one of the things to cover right off the bat is you guys are almost identical. It's like you're all singer-songwriters and you're all second sons as well.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
You're second sons. Yeah, I forgot about that. You have magical powers.
Yeah. So busy day today. You just came over and immediately get thrown into TV and radio interviews. Show tonight at Mid-America Arts Alliance for First Friday at 6:30, and then 8:30 tonight, the Kansas City Irish Fest. You're going to be on the Magners Park stage, and then shows Saturday night and Sunday. And we'll fill in all the details at the end of the interview, but really a big weekend.
You're going to be sick of us by the end of it. You'll be sick of us.
I don't think that's possible. We've really been enjoying the new record. It's called First Sign of Morning, and I think that, you know, we always tell people you'll have the album at the merch table, and I sure hope that that's true here, because you know, if you don't find it at the merch table, you got to go and order it as an import right now. So make sure and hit that merch table tonight.
We usually tell people to bring a bottle of whiskey too, and we'll be at the merch table then also with the CDs.
So you're lured easily.
Yes.
Especially for that show, the last show of the night over at the Kansas City Irish Fest.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, Anthony, you come from a big musical family. You're and I have to admit, I was not familiar, but the Furies, big Irish band.
Yeah, massive. They've been going. They've been going for years. My dad doesn't know how many records he's been on. He said 50 something or 60 something. I have a record at home, a vinyl record at home, and my granddad introducing him on stage at a massive festival in Germany as 12-year-old George Fury. He's now 64, so he's been doing it, 52 years?
You know, after I started digging in, I felt kind of guilty for not knowing about them, because they're really a pretty big deal.
Yeah, they are. And they're still going, but like they're getting old now. And then my cousin is kind of continuing it on, and so is myself. Like Martin is in the High Kings. They're also over for the weekend. So I haven't seen Martin in about 8 years. So it'd be nice to hang out with him.
Yeah, and that's funny, because when I was finding out about your family background, I watched some interviews, and some of the Furies were talking about their, you know, I mean, it's like this has been going on for generations.
Oh yes. So long.
The interesting thing is that my sense is that you have always enjoyed what they did, and it was always good to have music around the house.
Yeah.
But when it came time for you to do music, you weren't looking so much at them as much as you were looking at like Ryan Adams and.
Oh, Ryan Adams is my hero. Yeah, my man crush, I would say. I've met Ryan Adams, and he's a superhero, I'd say. But I didn't go towards traditional music at all. I think it was a good thing for me. I don't know if it would have been easier or not. I wouldn't say that, but I like what I'm doing now with the guys here. Much better than, like, we can always sit around and in a pub or at home and play a few traditional songs if we really want to, but we just don't at the moment.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you got to actually meet Ryan Adams.
Yes.
But it was in one of those settings where it was sort of like, okay, all of these famous people, which one of these people is supposed to make me the most nervous?
I was sitting in a room, just Ryan Adams played in the Olympia Theatre, massive theatre in Dublin. And one of my friends, she was saying, do you want to come and see him? I said, yeah, definitely, because I'm a massive fan. I've always been a massive fan. But after the show, she got a phone call saying, come backstage. We're just going to hang out for a few drinks. So I went backstage, and Bono walks in, and then Woody Harrelson walks in, and then Ryan Adams walks in, and you're like, this is ridiculous. So Woody Harrelson's, he's a lovely lad. And Bono kind of strutted around, hoping that someone would notice him. That's what Bono does. That's all he does. He's a nice guy. They're all really nice.
Yeah. You know, I was going to mention to Paul, you come from a big family of artists and entertainers as well.
Yeah.
A lot of theater folks.
Yeah, it goes back a couple of 100 years now with us, you know. Going out from my granddad before, my great-great-uncle wrote our national anthem, Paddy Carney, back in 1912, I think it was, you know. So it goes back a long way.
Yeah, that's a pretty good card to play. I just heard like this murmuring from the audience, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I like to take it out of you now and again, you know.
Yeah. And Tony, you've been in so many bands.
I haven't. I like to say when Paulie says his granddad wrote the national anthem, I like to say is my granddad rode a car off a couple of years ago around the tree, but he was okay. That's his claim to fame.
You know, I think that the thing that I really like maybe the best when I was researching you is just the name of your first band, Tribal Herb.
Tribal Herb, yeah. It's crazy, yeah. We were kind of like, I'd say we got into Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know? Because I'm a bass player, so like we started when we were about 12, and that was the vibe. It was like layering off Blood Sugar Sex Magic and do that. And we were on the Panasonic Music Awards when we were 16, which was a show in London, which was showed on UTV. We had to get a note off school to perform on it, you know? It was great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good times.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that everybody here is really ready to hear some music. We've got the young folk in the studio. If we play a song, it'd be great.
This one is called Home. Home is where I'd really like to be. Home is somewhere floating on the sea. So far away from home, so far away from where home ought to be. Looking for a place I try to find, looking to escape my own exile, following the stars' nocturnal flight, burning like the summer in your eyes. Home is where I'd really like to be. Home is somewhere floating on the sea. So far away from home, so far away from where home ought to be. And I'd really like to find the riches of your heart. I'd like to discover us sailing on the same chart and hit dry land together, washed up on a sunken tree. Finding you was like the sea. Finding out it's just a reflection of the sky that made you blue. And it was okay to be happy. Let me finding you was like the sea. Finding out just a reflection of the sky that made you blue. And it was okay to be happy. Home is where I'd really like to be. Home is somewhere floating on the sea. So far away from home, so far away from You arrived. You arrived.
The young folk performing live in our studios today here at the Bridge before hitting Mid-America Arts Alliance about 6:30 tonight, and then 8:30 tonight, Magners Park Stage, Kansas City Irish Fest. That was absolutely lovely.
Thank you very much.
Tony, that's one of yours.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, we talked early on about how this is a band that's all singers and all songwriters. And
Yeah, three of us write, so, you know.
yeah, so anything particular about that song?
I don't know. We spent a lot of time on the road, and I think it was just kind of like it's about kind of people trying to find their own place in the world. Especially like sometimes if you're on the road a lot, you're still like trying to find your own place to call home. You know, so it can be kind of hard if you're like a working musician to kind of, you know, wife, kids, that kind of juggle that kind of stuff. You know, so
It works. I was feeling sorry for you all being this far away from home. I mean,
Yeah, exactly,
You have
yeah.
to plan it away.
So it's kind of those are the kind of sentiments, like, you know, I
Yeah.
was working with at the time.
You know, it has to be gratifying to you guys to be out there as a band, and one of your biggest fans is the president of your native country, right?
Oh yeah, he loves Anto, like he loves him.
It's a bit strange when you have your president coming up to you like this, waiting for a
He
hug.
hugs him. We were actually, there was the 100-year centenary of, you know, the 1916, and we were playing at the closing ceremony, and the president was coming down the steps, and, you know, people are, you know, making way or whatever, and we were standing in the corner, and he actually saw Anthony, and he just went, Anthony, and he literally just went over and hugged him, and he was like brushing other people out of the way, like, you know.
You always have it in your head that you have to be, okay, I have to respect him, and Mr. President, hello, Mr. President, and then he comes and hugs you, and it throws you off balance. How do I treat him now?
Now, this man's about this height, but he has the
He's quite
strength
small.
of a.
He keeps ignoring me and Paul, though. Like, he just hugs Anto, and then he's just like, oh, hey, guys. And we're like, oh, hey.
You know, I'm trying to remember. I think that Home is from your first record, The Little Battle. Is that
Second.
Second, yeah.
That's, okay, but it's from The Little Battle.
No, it's
No,
from
it's
First
from the
Nine.
new
Yeah,
one.
it was the
Okay.
first single that we released in Holland and Ireland. First single that we released. From
So
the
that's
album.
from the first sign of morning.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it is neat.
The I wanted to ask about the recording of that album because it really is quite lovely.
you.
I read that you used like soundtracks as inspirations.
Yeah.
You know, so it was, but the soundtracks were interesting to me. Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And James Bond, particularly a volcano in Japan scene.
It was more for the synth sound, so like that seems to be coming back around on 80s synths and like things like that we were trying. And we were in an amazing studio in Dublin with Gavin Glass, amazing musician as well. And he just had like, it was like a toy store for musicians, so he just had like synths laid out to try out, you know, so you could spend a lot of time trying different sounds in his studio, and we kept referring to like things like Never Ending Story, Blade Runner, like the most random movies, you know, but they're from our childhood as well.
Well, he's also a big film fan, so it's easier to convey if you're trying to, you know, what sound do you look for? Remember the start of Blade Runner? You know, when you first see that and he goes, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And then he'd be like, bit like this, and you're like, exactly.
Yeah, but a lot of the times that we went towards a synth, it was either not working or half working, or would only work for 10 seconds. So a lot of those synth sounds we only had for 10 seconds, and we just kind of pasted and copied and stuff like that. And yeah, it was crazy. Took us a while to get one or two lines down, but very exciting.
You know, Anthony, I know that when you got your guitar that you kind of immediately sort of left covers behind and started writing your own material. But you're not above doing a cover. You all have recently done just a great cover of The National.
Yeah, we all love the National. We all do love and respect their music. We've been to so many shows, haven't we? How many shows have we been to now?
Yeah, we had a band night out about, we get one every 5 years, I think. We went to see the National playing down in Cork, you know. And we were lucky enough to see them playing at Longitude, which is a big festival in Ireland quite recently, you know.
Yeah, one of our friends was singing with them. I think it was Aaron Dresner, one of the guitarists out of the National. He produced Lisa Hannigan, the new CD. I'm not sure if any of you, have you guys heard of Lisa Hannigan?
We're playing it.
She played with Damien Rice for a few years. Yeah, so it was nice to hang out with a few friends. Well, we didn't get to meet them. We haven't got to meet them yet.
I wouldn't know what to do. You know, I don't get starstruck very often, but if I was to meet the National, I could.
Just pretend that you're the president of Ireland.
Just go over and hug them all.
And just say you're the president of
Yeah.
Ireland. Yeah.
The Young Folk are guests, and the new CD is First Sign of Morning, which we really love. They're playing tonight at the Mid-America Arts Alliance, also at the Kansas City Irish Fest, and we'd love to hear another song if we could.
Cool.
That is.
These kids, oh, they grow up so fast. Will their innocence still be here when I get back? And the apple trees are in full bloom, and their toys, they fill up every room. But it's you, I never want you to change. I want your loving eyes to always see me this way. So I'll take on this road alone. Will you still be here when I get home? Will you write to me, my one true love? Will you promise me you'll never give? And now the welcome mat has changed its face, and the apple trees, they have withered away, and the kids, they just don't look at me the same. And now your loving eyes, they just push me away. But is it me? Is it me that's changed? 'Cause I've got these images and it just won't go away. So I'll take on this road alone. Will you still be here when I get home? Will you write to me, my one true love? Will you promise me you'll never give? Is it me? Is it me that's changed? 'Cause I've got these images and they just won't go away. And now I've taken on this road alone, and you're never here when I get home. And your letters, they cease to come, but I promise you I'll never give. Yeah, 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 I promise you I'll never give up. Yeah, I promise you I'll never give up. Yeah, I promise you I'll never give up.
The Young Folk Live in our studios, joined today by Anthony, Paul, and Tony. That was absolutely lovely.
Thank you very much.
You know, the thing that it kind of kills me is that you're here today as a 3-piece, but when you play the 2 shows tonight, it's going to be a 5-piece. Yes. It seems really complete with just you 3, you know?
We've had a lot of people say that. We went on tour at the start of the year to Holland as a 5-piece. And we've had a few people saying, would you not come back as a 3-piece? So we're lucky enough to come back. We're going back in November as a 3-piece to see what we can do. And a lot of people are after buying tickets, and it's all nearly sold out. So it's crazy.
It's a lot cheaper as well for us. You know. So if you guys prefer a 3-piece, that's fine by us.
You're like the bank robbers that after they get away, they start offing each other so they can split the.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think people should go and see you as a 5-piece, though. And I don't know if you're going to do this tonight. I don't want to set anything up, but I've been told that Alex plays the trombone and the keyboard at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time, yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
His brain is wired a different way.
He's from New Zealand, so
that explains everything.
We don't know why he does half the things he does.
Yeah.
He also has the circular breathing going on, so
which is amazing
to see and to hear.
That was from his background in didgeridoo playing, we like to remind him. Which is that's an Australian trait, but we like to call him Australian as much as we can. We like winding each other up, that's the Irish way,
Yeah, absolutely. I talked at the very beginning of the interview about how you all are second sons. And I stumbled across this because of the curse of the second sons, which I'm not really sure if that's a real thing or if you just thought that commonality explained this. But this is a band that is absolutely, totally disaster prone.
A little bit. We were.
Things have gotten better for us. Well, after the 2 ex-bandmates died, things just got better, They kind of we broke the curse. The curse was over,
That's how you first figured out the 3-piece thing.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, I'll just go down the list. Let's start with Anthony. You burst your eardrum playing.
I burst my left eardrum when I was a kid, and I burst my right eardrum 2 years ago. And it's not going to heal, unfortunately. But I've lost 20% of hearing in my right ear. I don't really notice the difference. Maybe I just wasn't listening to people anyway. But when you have a trombone kind of like 2 feet away from you, it's not a good thing. So
yeah. Well, you're still singing on pitch, so that's great.
That's good.
Paul, you had an asthma attack, stopped breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Basically, I stopped breathing.
He was just looking for attention. That was it.
Yeah.
He was just holding his breath. He was actually just having a tantrum.
See, I can't say anything about it.
And he really isn't deaf. He just has selective hearing, They're just divas, basically. That's what they're suffering with.
Now, everybody has bad things happen to them, but I think that, really, with Tony, we've kind of really solidified the curse. You have been mugged 3 times.
By myself and Paul. Yeah.
I was actually 4 times. Somebody robbed my jeans on the way down today. I just left in my shorts. Sorry.
One time you had a concussion that momentarily left you without the knowledge to how to play the mandolin.
A lot of people would say I never recovered from that injury. No, I did. I got a really bad concussion and I had bleeding on my brain and stuff like that. But I just couldn't. I forgot how to play and I just kind of came back.
And they also stomped on your hand, which didn't help.
Yeah, no, it was
really nice of them.
Swings and roundabouts, But look, I'm here now in the sunshine in Kansas, hanging out in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. I'm terrible at this. I'll get beaten up again. But it's great.
And then you were hit by a van crossing the street to get a slush puppy.
That was his own fault.
That was 7-Eleven's fault for bringing out a 7-Eleven in Ireland in the 80s, when I was a kid.
I was completely unaware of a slush puppy. I think over here we call them ices.
Ices, yeah.
Yeah, but it just it sounds so good. I got hit by a van crossing the street to get a slush puppy. I don't even need to know what a slush puppy is.
I just needed to have one. The sun was actually shining in my face and I couldn't see the traffic, so I closed my eyes and I had belief in myself and I just ran for it. And that was it. I got hit by a van.
And then there's the other things, and you kind of expect this stuff to happen, going the wrong way down a one-way street and almost being killed by a streetcar.
That's twice now. It only happened last year. It happened a few years ago, but then it happened again last year.
Yeah, that was our manager, Jim's fault. He was trying to drive us to a show in Gothenburg. And it was in a church, which was grand during the day. It looked specific, but it's just full of churches because I think it's a Lutheran place. And at night time, you just can't tell one church from the other. And he took the wrong turn and he started going the wrong way down a tram system. So we nearly had a head-on collision with a tram. So.
And then it's this is my favorite one, I think, and it's not funny, so don't wait for the punchline. But your clutch went out on the way to your very first theater gig. So this is like a really cool show, and all of a sudden your clutch is out. The car is like
it disappeared. It literally just fell out of the car. We were late for a gig, so I was speeding a little bit, on the motorway. And we thought we were going to make it in time. And I said, lads, we're grand, we got this one. And I had to brake coming into a roundabout. And I put my foot down to look for the clutch, and there was nothing there. So, it is funny now. But I had a bit of a heart attack. I missed the gig because I had to wait with the car, and then we got a lift for the lads. And this is like a psychiatry session here. It's lovely.
The reason that I like that one the best is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but after you lost the clutch and you're at least running late, if not putting the whole gig at risk, you guys decided to just pick up by the side of the road and start playing.
Yeah.
Oh, we're messing around. Yeah, messing around. As you do, just play a few little tunes or whatever.
Exactly.
Pass the time.
I was like Fred Flintstone.
But the thing also that night, we have to thank the audience that night because we did tell them why we were late, and we sold out of all the CDs and stuff that we had that night. So they were kind of paying for our new clutch, or Paul's new clutch.
For all you guys here, the clutch is gone again. So
Okay, so just to go back, they're asking for a new clutch, they're asking for whiskey, and they're asking for you to buy all the merch tonight. It's not too much to ask. Not for music of this caliber. The young folk playing live in our studios will cover all of the schedule for what they're doing this weekend in Kansas City. But tonight, 6:30 at Mid-America Arts Alliance, and tonight, 8:30, the Magners Park stage, Kansas City Irish Fest. We'd love to get one more song out of you guys if we could.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Way down south is where I know my love will be. I got dressed up in this suit, which was novelty, and I'll stay waiting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She got dressed up and we went out. She said, let's make a mess of us and maybe some truth will come out. I said, I'll be waiting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She said, someday this could change, so make the best of what you got, and be sure you don't hurt, well, the ones you love anymore. Yeah, anymore. Yeah, anymore. Yeah, anymore. As we got home, as we went inside, and you said, maybe you're right for me, but maybe you're not. Please could you tell me? Well, if I don't know, please could you tell me? Or please let me go. You said some weight this could be from your shoulders, if you would please. If you take good care of yourself and the ones you love, 'cause someday this could change, so make the best of what you got, and be sure
anymore. Yeah, anymore. That's when you said when we were younger, it was so simple. Now what did we do wrong? Well, when we were together, how fast we've grown up. I still remember my mother screaming from my doorway, you're gonna hurt yourself. Come down from there, love. You're gonna hurt yourself. Come down from there, love. You're gonna hurt yourself. Come down from there, love. You're gonna hurt yourself. Come down from there, love. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Thank you very much.
That was really great, guys. The young folk in our studios, and the new album is First Sign of Morning. They'll have it at the merch table tonight for you. It will only cost you a clutch and a bottle of whiskey. I do want to tell everybody that you have been warned. These guys are disaster, prone. So when you go up to the merch table, just sort of stand back and throw the money.
Yeah.
That's the way to, you don't want to get
Paper money, though.
You don't want to get too close.
Coins.
Don't
Treat us
want
like animals at the zoo.
So the show's tonight, 6:30 at Mid-America Arts Alliance, 8:30 tonight on the Magners Park stage, Kansas City Irish Fest. And they finish up the Kansas City Irish Fest on Saturday, 4:30 at the Boulevard stage, and Sunday, 5 o'clock at the Miller Lite stage. Again, congratulations on First Sign of Morning. It's just a brilliant piece of work.
Thank you very much, and thank
we
you for
really
playing it.
appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
The young folk today on the bridge.